Hello. So, this is my second time recording this. The first time my phone stopped recording and I didn't know. But hello, you all. I'm so excited to do this again. As you can see by the title of this podcast, I will be talking about shutting up because your nervous system is talking. And it's so weird to like re-record something because I really felt like I did a good job the first time, and I have no script. This is raw, authentic, unfiltered, whatever you want to call it. But I'm gonna allow myself to remove the expectation of perfection and the expectation of duplication because I really want to remember what I said last time, and we're not doing that. So first video I made was very emotional. And I'm in a better place if you all are wondering now if you've seen that video. But where do I start? Removing the energy of duplication and perfection. But there is so much going on in the world at all times, and it creates a kind of bubble, an echo of just what we want to hear and what we think. And I think of this concept that I learned in school, which is literally echo chamber, and it's the idea that your surroundings and your environment is an echo and a reflection of what you want to hear. It's kind of like confirmation bias. And I think of that when it comes to your nervous system because we are so used to talking, moving, operating at a certain frequency or in a certain manner that we ignore ourselves, which is so weird because you would think I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing this for me, but a lot of times we are doing it to do it because we have to pay the bills, because we have to make sure the kids are good, we have to make sure the family stays together, we must make sure the relationship works out, and we are keeping a machine rolling, and without us on the train, it's gonna fall apart. And so this discussion came out of nowhere this morning. It actually kind of dropped in my spirit. And I was like, I want to talk. And I want to preface that I am always becoming. I have became nothing yet. I have no 1, 2, 3 rule of how to silence your nervous system. I just have my raw and real experiences and the capacity and the vulnerability to have a conversation about it, because as a Black woman, I think we experience, especially as a woman, period, we experience a upbringing. Let's start from the beginning. An upbringing of fear and anxiety. And we're giving a lot of authority, and a lot is put on us at a young age. And as we get older, this pressure just builds up, but we're so used to feeling a pressure that we don't realize that that's not ours. That's what the world gave us. And I have entered into my 20s. I'm about to turn 22 next month. Yes, March baby. Yes, woo, woo, to all y'all March babies out there. I see you. But I'm starting to realize something that I wish I knew, which is that anxiety is not your birthright. And that is something that I wish I could tell myself in really a long time ago, and really like mean it and understand. Anxiety and fear is not your birthright, and your nervous system is talking to you. It is telling you, hey, I'm not okay. Hey, that thing that happened to you when you were a child, it really hurt me. It really scarred us, okay? That thing that you promised yourself, it still is in you. That thing they told you could never be, you can be that still. And I just think God and just the universe or whatever you believe in is, I believe that we were giving a nervous system for a reason, and as complex and complicated and as overwhelmed as it can get, it is one, proof of life. We're living, we're feeling. If you're alive, you can feel, and that's a blessing. But it is also a reminder that you matter. Most importantly, you matter. And ignoring your nervous system when it is talking will take your nervous system into screaming, and it is inadvertently you ignoring yourself. And so I have a bad habit of ignoring my nervous system because, like I said earlier, we think without us, the world is going to end. And if you're a black woman, it might, because we really be holding stuff together. I'm not gonna lie. But that's not our responsibility. That's not our role, you know. And I think of the superwoman and the CEO girl, the girl boss, and even the trad wife, the super mom, and the the leader narrative, that women have. We think that we are supposed to be everything to everyone, and we ignore what we are to us. Who are we to ourselves outside of what we can offer the world? And I think once we start to overbear and overbook ourselves, we ignore what we deserve and what we really need. You may just need a moment of rest. You may just need to not go back to that job, as crazy as it may sound. You may just need to switch that career or leave that relationship or leave that community space that you thought was home for you, but really is carrying a lot of emotional and baggage and trauma. And we ignore it because they need us. Because what we think we need to do is more important than what our body needs, what we need inside. And so I hope that makes sense. But I was reflecting on this heavily this morning, and I'm sure we all just have these epiphanies where I was like, for so long my nervous system was talking to me and I was ignoring her. She was saying we're tired. She was saying we don't know what to do. You're putting too much on us. And because I had things put on me since I was a child, I said I was not consciously but subconsciously telling myself, girl, that ain't nothing. If we can overcome going through these things, this is nothing. But your body keeps the count. And I learned that the hardest way, and the way that a lot of women learn, hitting rock bottom and listening to your nervous system. I found for myself, because like I said, I have not became anything, but listening to your nervous system requires you to rest and pause. And let's not even get into the neurodivergent experience of a woman, but it really does require you to pause. And when I stop and I listen, and I heard someone even say set off alarms every hour as a reminder to check, is your shoulders up to your ears? Are your shoulders up to your ears? Is your jaw clenched? All these different postures that we hold that creates tense energy in our body. And yeah, and you won't even think about it. It just becomes second nature to be so tense. And why is that? Why is the expectation something we have, and then we are so tense? We just live like that. And I don't know. I know that that's something I do. And I found that when you pause and when you break, or when you journal, when you write, when you go deep in, when you cry. I'm a crier. We have any criers in the chat? Because I'm a baby. Crying for me releases a lot of energy. People do physical activities. It's so much. And I vividly remember how I even realized my nervous system was screaming. This summer, I was working this 40-hour job, 40 hours a week, basic 9 to 5 job. And I remember it became like a cycle. I would wake up, go on about my day, come back, anxious. And it was like every day, but slowly I've started progressively getting more anxious. And I just remember crying, and I was praying to God, and I was like, I don't want to do this, but I have to, right? I have to keep showing up because my community needs me. I have to keep showing up because my supervisor and my coworkers, they need me. And I got to a really, really dark place where just things I don't even want to talk about, things that I think as women and as people, we don't speak about a lot of the things that we think and the thoughts in our mind, but we just know that we hit that place. And when you hit that place, you're there. And I had to rest. And I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what it looked like because my mama, and I'm sorry if I get emotional, but my mom worked so hard growing up. My mama didn't get a chance to rest. And it goes back to that being your birthright. It's not your birthright. When you see it so long, it becomes what you think you're supposed to become. My grandmother, she didn't get the rest. Like these people, these significant women in my life, they work so hard, and I commend them and I love them for that. But it seemed like nothing could be easy. You had to work for it. And so that attaches to your nervous system because you think you have to work and that your worth is tied to your work, and it's not. And your nervous system will start to scream. And I remember when mine did, like I said. And so I just think it's so beautiful to, one, have your nervous system because, like I said, it is evidence of life. Is evidence that you were feeling, that you're alive, and that is a gift alone. And I'm so grateful for life. And also, it is a call home because your body is really your home. It's your temple. And I just want you all to know that no matter where you are, no matter how heavy it feels right now, that you can always return home. You can always return to yourself. You're always here. And I'm here. There's a community of women and people, individuals who see you, and you are not alone. There's resources, obviously. If you feel alone, there are so many forms of community, even digitally. If you're in college, if you're in school, if you're at work, if you're in a city, there's some place for you. And I don't want anyone to ever feel alone. You can reach out to me. I'll drop my social media and how to reach out to me down below, because it gets that serious where you have friends and you still feel alone. But I think being so alone forced me to look into myself and return home. And that was the beauty of it. And so look at it in that way, I guess. But I thank you all for listening and for giving me space to share and to talk and to say, I don't know, but I know this. And I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. And I'll see you all next episode. Bye.